Thanks, Tina. Last night on The Apprentice, I did the unexpected. I didn't even give the fiery a chance to fight for her spot.
I see no leadership. Let me ask you, would you pick 2 people or 3 people to come back to the boardroom?
2.
Who would the 2 be?
Raj and Chris.
Honestly, Elizabeth, I just don't think it's necessary. You're fired. I don't want to waste a lot of time. Go ahead. Sorry.
Elizabeth, the jungle music cracks me up. Like,
I know the music is great. I see you mastered the comb over.
Thank you.
I think you're the first person to figure that out.
I don't know. It's very intricate. It took a team of hundreds. But anyway, it's so nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
So what happened? I mean, I didn't give you a chance to defend yourself. You were just, there was no boardroom, right?
I know,
really?
I'm the first person in Apprentice history not to be able to state my case and defend myself.
Yeah, and you looked shocked. Were you as shocked as you looked?
Yeah, because you go in there and it's all set up. You're supposed to be able to pick people, and you're supposed to be able to come back and say, this is what I did right. And you know, I just didn't get that opportunity.
Well, let's talk about the task, because the teams were asked to come up with an ad campaign, right?
Right.
And for the NYPD.
Right. Which
So
I actually have a lot of experience doing.
Right, because you're a short film director,
Well,
right?
yes, I directed a short film that won an award, and so I've done that production side, but I've also worked in marketing for over 9 years now. And I work with some of the biggest companies in the nation and help them kind of get their campaigns together. So this is really an area of my expertise.
So you should have come up with something pretty brilliant.
Yeah, well, my downfall was I delegated the creative. I mean, when you're managing something for 2 days, you have to delegate.
Oh, but delegating the creative, you had the experience. Wasn't that a dumb choice?
Well, see, that's the thing. In hindsight, I don't think someone with all of that experience probably should have been the project manager, because what happens is you get bogged down in all of the other stuff, where I had to sort of delegate the creative. I couldn't do it all.
Yeah.
And they got so passionate about their idea, there was no moving them off.
Well, let's take a look at the commercial, because I think we have that, don't we, you guys? Do we have the ad for the NYPD?
I'd like to see the ad. Show the ad.
Of that ad.
But you know, in watching it, it just proves that I was right. I mean, you don't use scare tactics to try to get somebody to join something. It's good to say, okay, this is your brain on drugs in a public service announcement, but not for a recruiting campaign.
Okay,
So,
now I know that your team, Team Apex, had a lot of tension sort of from the beginning, a lot of sort of conflicting
you
personalities.
mean when we were with the girls?
Yeah,
All of the
yeah.
girls. Mm-hmm.
What do you think went wrong there?
You know, it was really interesting because these are strong, successful, smart women, and I just think it was a lack of chemistry. And you're in an environment that you don't have the opportunities to really work it out like you would in the real world.
And how much
so
are you
spiraled.
influenced, I'm just curious, Elizabeth, by the cameras? Because I think if I were ever a contestant on one of these shows, I would just feel like it would be so sort of, I would feel so self-conscious having every move I made and every expression on my face recorded by cameras. Do you get used to it? Do you forget they're there?
I'm used to it because I have a lot of experience being in front of the camera. I mean, I've done acting before, I've done directing. I mean, I'm very comfortable with that stuff. So for me, it really wasn't that big of a deal. I was really myself, and that's what I'm proud of.
You were very emotional, though, during the course of the show, I noticed. And it's not really great for women in business to cry much, but you kind of got very verklempt, as they say.
Verklempt. Yeah, you know what? I did. And, you know, the funny thing about that is I've never done it in a professional environment, nor would I ever do it in a professional environment in the real world. But this is so different than what you really experience in the real world.
pressure.
It is in terms of time, but, you know, you're not. I had like an hour sleep that night. I hadn't eaten all day. And, you know, there's just a lot of stuff that's going on that when you're living with people, you don't deal with in the real world when you're just working with them. So I think, you know, everybody has vulnerable moments. And I'm a person that's okay with showing how I truly feel. And so that kind of came out. And in that situation, I had two options. Either I could have gotten really mean and lashed out at everybody, or I could have taken it in. And I took it in and cried. and I took it in. And for me, I think that's the lesser of the two evils, really.
Yeah, maybe
and
you're
I'm
right.
proud of that, you know?
Yeah, well, Elizabeth,
Yeah,
it's good to meet you. Good luck with everything. Did you have fun, by the way?
I did.
Good.
This has been a great experience.
Great. Well, and you look pretty hot in that police outfit.
Well, thank you, Donald.
Okay. Yeah, I know. What are you doing after
Coming
the show?
from you.
Melania's out of town. Anyway, now let's go to Matt.
All right.